Now, U.S. President Donald Trump has called off peace talks with the Taliban. This after the terror group claimed responsibility for a car bomb attack in Kabul, which killed 12 people, including an American soldier. Trump took to Twitter to announce that Taliban leaders were due to meet him for secret talks in Camp David in the U.S. He also said that he was going to meet Afghanistan's President Ashraf Ghani separately. The U.S. president hit out at the terror group, saying that if it cannot agree to a ceasefire during the important peace talks, then it probably does not have the power to negotiate a meaningful agreement anyway. He also slammed the Taliban for trying to use the Kabul blast as a bargaining position. Meanwhile, the Afghan government has said that real peace will only come when Taliban ends violence and holds direct talks with Kabul. Remember, on Thursday, the Taliban attacked a heavily fortified area in the Afghan capital. A Romanian NATO soldier was also killed in that blast. The attack comes as U.S. nears a peace deal with the Taliban, with negotiations mainly taking place in Qatar. However, the talks have been criticized as Taliban has refused to hold negotiations with the internationally recognized Ashraf Ghani government of Afghanistan. As per the draft deal, the Taliban would give up arms and help in combating terror groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS in exchange of the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan. The U.S. has also agreed to certain security arrangements proposed by the Taliban. This as Washington seeks to end its longest war. The U.S. hopes that the peace talks would set the tone for negotiations between the Afghan government and the Taliban. However, the talks have raised fears that the Taliban would dissolve human rights in Afghanistan after a deal is signed. Trump's decision to end of the Afghanistan peace talks may seem sudden, but the U.S. has been contemplating this for a long time. Just a day ago, U.S. Defense Secretary Mark Esper raised doubts over the striking of a deal with the Taliban. He had said, and I quote, "We want to make sure we have a good deal, a good enough deal that guarantees at least the security of our countries going forward and a brighter future for the Afghan people," unquote. Remember, recently the Taliban kidnapped 6 Afghan journalists. The incident exposed infighting within the Taliban. This as the terror group's spokesperson said that the scribes would be released when contact is established with the local commander. So what's next now that the talks have been called off? Firstly, the Ashraf Ghani-led Afghan government is most likely to welcome the move. Remember, many in Afghanistan were skeptical that a peace deal would not stop Taliban from attacking civilians. The suspension of talks is most likely to push the deadline of the withdrawal of U.S. troops from the conflict-hit nation. Remember, Washington has planned to pull out a majority of its troops by next year. The move has sparked fears of a surge in violence ahead of the Afghan elections, which is just days away. As for Taliban, it has shown no signs of ending violence and is likely to continue its attacks.